Greetings! Manta-Ray79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Already, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game and proceeding. And here we are in the main menu, up to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going for is Keter Sanctuaries, Omniscience Regalia, Minerva, D-BT11. Okie dokie, let's get started. Selecting the deck, entering edit deck, and off we go. Here we are in the edit deck menu. Like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building today's deck profile video is a Keter Sanctuaries, Omniscience Regalia, Minerva deck, made up of cards only available up until D-BT11. Alrighty, let's get started. Selecting the filter settings, go to pack, show only cards from D-BT1, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT2, Rush of Legends, D-BT3, Advance of Intertwined Stars, D-BT4, Awakening of Chakrabarti, D-BT5, Shrine for Return of Brave Heroes, Festival Booster 2021, Festival Booster 2022, PR Promo Pack number 1, D-BT6, Blazing Dragon Reborn, D-BT7, Raging Flame Against Emerald Storm, D-BT8, Minerva Rising, D-BT9, Dragon Tree Invasion, D-BT10, Dragon Masquerade, Festival Booster 2023, and D-BT11, Rising of Heroes. Pack selected, apply filters, filters applied, let's get started. First up, the ride deck. And now for the ride deck. For the cards in this ride deck we are playing, ride deck Grade 3, Omniscience Regalia, Minerva. Skills. First skill, continuous as a Vanguard. During your turn, if your soul has a Grade 3 card with Regalia in its card name, all of your front row units gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. Second skill, action as a Vanguard once per turn. Cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, look at the top card of your deck and put it in top of your deck or put it into Soul. Third skill, auto as a Vanguard once per turn. At the end of battle, this unit attacked. If your opponent's Vanguard grade is Grade 3 or greater, cost, Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 3. And then discard one card with only Genesis for its clan from your hand. If the cost and paid, stand this unit, and it gets drive -1 until end of turn. Alright, Grade 3, Omniscience Regalia, Minerva. We have 1 the ride deck. Next up, ride deck Grade 2, Witch of Ravens, Chamomile. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon by a unit with only Genesis for its clan, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards from among them, put them into Soul and shuffle deck. Second skill, auto. When this card is put from Soul into drop zone during your turn, if you have a Vanguard of Minerva in its card name, cost, Counter Blast 1, and if the cost is paid, call this card to Vanguard Circle. Okie dokie, Grade 2, Witch of Ravens, Chamomile. We have 1 the ride deck. Next up, ride deck, Grade 1, Witch of Frogs, Melissa. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon by a unit with only Genesis for its clan, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards from among them, put them into your Soul and shuffle deck. Second skill, auto. When this card is put into drop from your Soul, if you have a Vanguard of Minerva in its card name, call this card to the back row Vanguard Circle. If you called it, you may Soul Charge 1. Affirmative, Grade 1, Witch of Frogs, Melissa. We have 1 the ride deck. Next up, ride deck, Grade 0, Vivid Rabbit. Starting unit, skill, auto. When this card is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. Confirm, Grade 0, Vivid Rabbit. Starting unit, we have 1 the ride deck. With that, we've covered the deck's ride deck. Next, let's get on to the Grade 3 lineup. And now for the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s in this deck we are playing, Grade 3, Omniscience Regalia, Minerva. Since we explained this card's skills and effects during the ride deck portion of the video, let's just skip ahead. For the Grade 3 Omniscience Regalia, Minerva, we have 3 in the main deck. Next up, the Grade 3, Regalia of Wisdom, Angelica. Skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If you have a Vanguard of Minerva in its card name, cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost and paid, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. Then, cost, put this unit into your Soul. If the cost and paid, countercharge 1. Alright, the Grade 3, Regalia of Wisdom, Angelica. We have 4 in the deck. Next, the Grade 3, Divine Knight of Deeply Laid Stratagems, Sages. Skills, first skill, continuous as a rear guard or guardian. If your opponent's drive check or damage check reveal a trigger unit this turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 power plus 10,000 shield. Second skill, auto as a rear guard once per turn. When this unit attacks, look at the top card of your deck, put it in the top of your deck or put it into Soul. Then, cost, Counter Blast 1. If the cost and paid, perform all of the following. First effect, Choose one of your opponent's 14,000 or greater power Vanguards. Increase this unit's power by that unit's power until end of battle. Second effect, cost, remove an overtrigger from drop zone. If the cost and paid, choose one of your other front units, and it gets plus 15,000 power until end of turn. And okie dokie, grade 3, Divine Knight of D-BT11 Stratagem, Sages, we have 2 in the deck. Next up, the grade 3, Normal Order, Overdress Surrogate. Skills, first skill, Continuous, Reckless Piece. You may only have one Reckless Piece in your fight and use a total of 1 time in the fight. And then, second skill, Order. Search your deck or drop for up to a total of 2 grade 3 or grade 4 unit cards with different card names and reveal them. Call all of the revealed grade 3 cards to Vanguard Circle and put all of the revealed grade 4s into hand. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck. You may also search for only 1 card. Affirmative, grade 3, Overdress Surrogate. We have 1 the deck. And at that, we've covered the deck's grade 3 lineup. Next, let's get on to the grade 2 lineup. And now for the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2s in this deck we are playing, the grade 2, Witch of Ravens Chamomile. Since we already explained Chamomile's effects during the Riot deck portion of the video, we'll just skip ahead. For the grade 2, Witch of Ravens Chamomile, we have 3 in the main deck. Next up, grade 2, Spiral Cutie Angel. Skills, first skill, auto. When this card is discarded from hand during your Riot phase, cost, Soul Blast 1 and put this unit into bottom of the deck. If the cost and paid, draw a card. Second skill, auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, if your Persona wrote this turn, cost, Counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose a card from among them, put into hand, put the rest on the top or bottom of the deck. Alright, grade 2, Spiral Cutie Angel. We have 3 in the deck. Next up, the grade 2, Knight of D-BT Decree Thesis. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard of only Genesis for its clan, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them, put into Soul, put the rest in the bottom of the deck in any order. Second skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of battle, this unit attacks. If you have a Vanguard of Minerva in its card name, cost, Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit. If the cost and paid, choose a card from hand or drop, put into Soul. If you put from hand, draw a card. And okie dokie, grade 2, Knight of D-BT Decree Thesis. We have 4 in the deck. And at that, we've covered the deck's grade 2 lineup. Next, let's get on to the grade 1 lineup. And now for the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 1s in this deck we are playing, grade 1, Aegis Mirror Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to a total of 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from hand discarded. Alrighty, grade 1, Aegis Mirror Dragon. We have 3 in the deck. Next up, the grade 1, Blitz Order, Elementaris Sanctitude. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Continuous. You may only have 1 Elementaris Sanctitude deck. Third skill, Order. If your opponent's Vanguard is triple drive, this ability can be played without paying the cost. Plays with the cost of, discard a card from hand if your Vanguard is grade 3 or less. If the cost and paid, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. Remove this card. Okie dokie, grade 1, Elementaris Sanctitude. We have 1 in the deck. Next up, the grade 1, Apple Witch Cider. Skills, first skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard of Minerva in its card name, you may return this card to your hand. Second skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if your soul has a grade 3 card with Regalia in its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield until end of battle. And affirmative, grade 1, Apple Witch Cider. We have 3 in the deck. Next up, the grade 1, Magic of Colored Flame, Rehalim. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle other than by during battle phase, if you have a Vanguard of Genesis for its clan, cost, Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If the cost and paid, draw a card, choose a card from hand, reveal it, and call to the Vanguard Circle if it is a unit card with grade less than or equals your Vanguard, and discard if it's not. Second skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard of only Genesis for its clan, cost, put 2 rear guards in the same column as this unit into your soul. If the cost and paid, choose a card from drop if only Genesis for its clan and put it into hand. Confirm, grade 1, Magic of Colored Flame, Rehalim. We have 3 in the deck. And at that, we've covered the deck's grade 1 lineup. Next, let's get on to the grade 0 lineup. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers we are playing in this deck, we have the Grade 0, Spiritual King of Aquatics, Edisfaro, Over Trigger. Skill, trigger, additional effect. Choose a card from your drop, put it into hand, choose one of your units, and it gets +1 critical until end of turn. Alright, Grade 0, Spiritual King of Aquatics, Edisfaro, Over Trigger. We have 1 the deck. Next up, the Grade 0, White Fang Witch, Disma, critical trigger. We have 4 in the deck. Next, the Grade 0, Blade Feather Dragon, critical trigger. Skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost and paid, choose one of your units, and it gets +2000 power until end of turn. Okay, Grade 0, Blade Feather Dragon, critical trigger. We have 4 in the deck. Next, the Grade 0, Protection Magic Parabi, draw trigger. Skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +5000 shield. Affirmative, the Grade 0, Protection Magic Parabi, draw trigger. We have 3 in the deck. Next, the Grade 0, Circling Sorceress, heal trigger. We have 2 in the deck. And next, the Grade 0, Affectionate Heart Angel, heal trigger. Skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if your Vanguard's grade is less than your opponent's Vanguard grade, this unit gets +10,000 shield until end of battle. Confirm, Grade 0, Affectionate Heart Angel, heal trigger. We have 2 in the deck. And with that, we've covered the deck's trigger lineup. And with that, the deck's been built, Cardfight explained. For the cards in this deck we are playing, 4, Grade 3, Omniscience Regalia, Minerva. 4, Grade 3, Regalia, Wisdom Angelica. 2, Grade 3, Divine Knight of Deeply Laid Stratagems, Sagus. 1, Grade 3, Forbidal Surrogate. 4, Grade 2, Witch of Ravens, Chamomile. 3, Grade 2, Spiral Cutie Angel. 4, Grade 2, Knight of the Deity Decree, Thesis. 3, Grade 1, Aegismere Dragon. 1, Grade 1, Elementary Sanctitude. 1, Grade 1, Witch of Frost Melissa. 3, Grade 1, Apple Witch Cider. 3, Grade 1, Magic of Colored Flame, Relim. 1, Grade 0, Favorite Rabbit, starting unit. And for the triggers in this deck we are playing, 1, Edisfaro, Overtrigger. 8, critical triggers. 3, draw triggers. And 4, heal triggers. And that deck's been built, Cardfight explained. Next, let's get into testing out the deck. And here we are in the main menu, going to test the deck. So we go to Fight menu, selecting CPU Fight, choosing the deck I just showcased to you, the Keter Sanctuaries, Omniscience Regalia Minerva, D-BT11 deck. Alrighty, it's all okay from here, so selecting the deck, choosing my opponent for this fight, I'm going to test it out on Brand Gates, Taiji Arakawa, hard difficulty, and click. The battle begins, let's get started. And here we are in fight. We're going to decide who goes first, so rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Paper to paper, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Rock to scissors, I win, going first. Drawing my starting hands, I got, let's see, 2, a critical, a draw, a heal, a thesis, and a rare limb. Holding on to all normal units, just gonna redraw all triggers. Redraw! Not too shabby, Persona Right Insider. Draw! I ride from the right deck, Witch of Frost Melissa. Right deck cost, I am discarding, well, with Rare Limb skill, I can add any Genesis from my drop zone back to my hand, so I can afford to ditch a Persona Right early, discarding Minerva, and ride Melissa. That's the end of my turn, my opponent's turn. Here comes my opponent, he's gonna ride to the Grade 1. Eva! Skill of Tech 10, he discarded, he searches his deck for his set order. Nothing. Start skill, he draws a card. His Grade 1 skill, searching his deck for, experiment successful, and adding to hand. He calls Bubble Mine to back row and 16k to the Vanguard. No guard, gonna take it. Drive check. Heal trigger, yes, he wasted a trigger. Nothing to heal and the power doesn't really do anything at this point. 1 damage. Ow. Damage check. No trigger, Angelica. Into my opponent's turn, my turn. Stand and draw. Critical trigger, huh? I arrive from the right deck, Chamomile. Right deck cost, I'm discarding a critical trigger for the right deck cost. Discard and right, Chamomile. Skill of Melissa. Look at the top cards of my deck for a card to add to Soul. Angelica and, alright, 2 cards. I add Angelica and Spiral Cutie into Soul. With a grade 3 in my Soul, when I ride to Minerva, she can get plus 5,000 power to my entire front row. Then I'm going to call to the back row, Stasis. Call. Stasis is skill. Look at the top cards of my deck to add to the Soul. I'm adding, Cider into the Soul. The rest goes to the bottom of my deck. Then I call Cider to the back row. Call. To the battle phase we go. 10k to Vanguard. The attack goes through. Pierce. Damage check. No trigger. Persona Ride. 1 less card to worry about. Boosted by Cider. My Vanguard to Vanguard. 18k. The attack goes through. Drive check. Heal trigger. Nice. Healing 1 point of damage. And Power Vanguard. Boom! 1 damage. Damage check. Heal trigger. He can heal, so he's back to 1 damage. And that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. Now my opponent's 2 heal triggers out of the deck. That's not a bad start, I suppose. He rides to grade 2 Eva, searches his deck for experience successful, and adding to hand. Successful skill to the order zone. Draw and drop. He drops a grade 1 and he calls a grade 1. Battle phase, 18 to Vanguard. No guard, gonna take it. I need at least 1 counterblast, so... Critical trigger, nothing, so 1 damage, here it comes. Ow! Damage check. Critical trigger. Ah, wasted a critical. All to Vanguard, nothing left to do here. End of my opponent's turn, my turn. Stand and draw. Another critical, come on. I arrive from the right deck, Minerva. Right deck cost, discarding. The heal trigger I revealed to my opponent earlier. Discard, and right, Minerva. Skill of Chamomile. Look at the top cards in my deck to add to Soul. Yes, more Chamomiles. I put 2 Chamomiles into Soul. Should I use Relim's skill to draw a card? Tough choice. I'm gonna call Relim to the rear guard, calling. Counterblast 1. Am I lucky enough to draw Angelica from the deck? Soul Blasting a... Grade 1 Melissa, maybe? Or... Soul Blasting Vivid Rabbit for the cost. Soul Blast, and... Sagus! Yes! I got a card to call. Revealing Sagus, and Superior calls Sagus. That's ought to do it. Activating my Vanguard skill. Soul Blast 1. Soul Blasting Melissa. Soul Blast, and... I'm gonna put Cider... I reveal Cider. Place it on top deck to draw later. And Melissa's skill. She Superior calls from the drop zone. Superior calling her behind Sagus. Not gonna soul charge. That should do it for my main phase to the battle phase. I'm gonna attack with Stasis. 15k. Wait, hold on. I think I'm just gonna go all in the Vanguard. Boosted by Cider. Vanguard to Vanguard. 26k. The attack goes through. Twin Drive, first check. Melissa Cider. Card for later, and second check. Angelica. I got my cards for next turn. I guess that's an okay draw. Boom, first damage check. No trigger, tech TN. One less card to worry about. Now, boost. I'm not going to activate Cider's skill this time. Wait, should I? My hand is pretty small. I'm gonna just activate Cider's skill, I suppose. Return her to hand to be safe. Add to hand for a 10,000 point shield. Boosted by Relim. Stasis to Vanguard. 23k. Guarding Lift, heal trigger, 25k. Just barely enough. I'm gonna activate. Should I use Stasis' skill? To add a card from my hand into Soul and draw or drop zone. You know what? I'm gonna save it for my next turn. Not gonna activate any of these skills just yet. Saving for my next turn. And boosted by Melissa, Sagittarius to Vanguard. 26k. Sagittarius skill. Look at the top card of my deck. It is a Over Trigger. Place it on the top of the deck. The attack goes through. Boom! Damage check. Over Trigger, huh? The damage is nullified. This is gonna be a tough choice. Here comes Eva, the grade 3, and skill of set order. As this foe, he's putting it back in the order zone. Here comes. He's gonna activate his Eva skill, counterblast, draw, and power up. He's calling Obstacle Lead and Phantom Ray. Phantom Ray, he draws and drops and powers up. Rearguard to Vanguard, 24k. No guard, got an Over Trigger on the way, so he powers up. No guard, gonna take it. Out. Damage check. Over Trigger. 100 million power to Vanguard. He's gonna attack Sagittarius. I can afford it. No guard. His Superior calls another Obstacle Lead. Kind of wasteful, but I guess I can afford it. Sorry, Sagittarius. I can't protect you this time. He first checks. Persona Ride. And second check. Critical trigger. Critical goes to the rear guard, but it doesn't have any effect. And Sagittarius is gone. Sorry about that, buddy. Maybe next time. And follow my skill, he countercharges. Phantom Ray to rear guard. Sorry, Phantom Ray. Phantom Ray is gone, and end of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. It's time to Persona Ride. Here we go. Omniscience Regalia Minerva. Persona Ride Minerva. Draw a card. Draw. Spiral Cutie, huh? Then I'm gonna call Cider to the back row, calling Angelica, and Spiral Cutie. Call. That ought to do it. Then let's get started. I'm gonna activate Minerva's skill, Soul Blasting 1, Soul Blasting a Spiral Cutie from my soul, and preview the top card of my deck. It is a critical trigger, not too shabby. Place it on top deck. And to the battle phase we go. Boosted by it's 36k, 33k. I can activate my counterblast to restand once, so and I have a Genesis in hand. I'm gonna go all in the Vanguard first. Hold on, nope, I gotta type Angelica first to be safe. Angelica, unboosted, attacks the Vanguard. 28k. The attack goes through. Here, boom, damage check. No trigger, safe. Then, here comes Angelica's skill. Soul Blasting 1. Soul Blasting 1. Cider, and Power to Vanguard. She goes to the Soul. Countercharge 1. I got a restand on the way. Boosted by Cider. Minerva to Vanguard. To 41k. Twin Drive, first check. Critical trigger. Critical to Vanguard. Power to Spiral Cutie. Critical up and power up. Second check. Double critical, alright! Critical trigger. Powered spiral cube. That's 3 criticals, another reset of the weight. Boom! Damage check. Critical trigger, trigger effect wasted. Second check, here it comes. Double critical. Still no effect. He has no over triggers left in deck. He can only survive a heal trigger. Come on, nothing. Third check. No trigger, 6 damage, I win. That was a pretty okay-ish fight. Despite some lacking counterblast, I still managed to make this deck work out pretty well. It was pretty stable enough. I couldn't draw the cards I needed, so I got win, double critical, double trigger, attack 40,000 more power, opponent double critical, drew an over trigger, opponent drew an over trigger, did a persona right, 6 turns passed, did a superior call. I got 3250 VP, total 201,975 VP. Pressing A to go next, leaving the fight, returning to fight menu. Back to the fight menu, leaving fight menu, going back to main menu. And to edit deck menu we go. With that, the deck's been built, Cardfight explained, and I just finished testing the deck out in front of you, so first I want to say is, thank you to the viewers for watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload in the near future. I also will show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say, goodbye, and see you all soon!